What's going on, everybody? This is LBThaRealist with Surrealistic Studios, Surreal News, where the real is surreal. Thanks for joining me on another segment. Hit that like button, hit that comment, subscribe, and share this video when I'm done so more people can get the message. Now, on this segment, I wanted to go over the whole situation that's unfolding in Cuba. There's been a mass eruption of protests, but not only protests, but counter protests to the original protest. So you have one group of people that actually is for the government and the regime there, if you want to call it a regime. And then you have another protests that are actually against the regime or the government there, that they actually want reform of their government. So this story right here is going to be brought to us by CNN.com. I'm going to go ahead and read the article, and then they actually have a video that you guys can listen to. It says, excuse me, they just went ahead and popped up an advertisement. Let me exit out of that. Okay. Cuban YouTuber says she is being taken away by state security during a live interview. All right. Cuban YouTuber says she's being taken away by state security during a live interview. So we have two arguments right now. We have one side of the argument that says, you know, the regime in Cuba, you know, is terrible to their people. You know, they're basically taking them away, and they're not giving them their due process, their rights. And then to that side of the story, I actually just a side note. I remember some years back, my grandmother, you know, rest in peace. She used to date this guy who was Cuban, and I remember she always used to tell me how he hated Fidel Castro and the regime there. She always used to say that Cubans, you know, fled Cuba, or you know, tried to get away from that whole situation because they hated Fidel. And I grew up with that knowledge, you know. So just an interesting side note there. That's where my head is regarding. That's where the I guess the basis or the background is for my knowledge on this whole Cuba situation, is that most Cubans didn't like or don't like the Cuban government there. So, and this is basically going along with what mainstream media is painting, the narrative that they're painting as well. But they leave out a caveat, and the caveat is we have, as America, we have an embargo against the country of Cuba that prevents, you know, the people from getting exactly all the things that they need, and that hurts the country. It prevents trade from the Americas to Cuba and back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So this was, I believe, enacted in 1962. I believe is when JFK enacted this. But let me go ahead and read this article here, because I thought this little story was interesting, and then I'll let you guys listen to the audio, and we can kind of piece together what's going on, and you guys can come up to your own conclusions on what you think about this situation. I proclaim to be no expert. I'm just a guy on YouTube making YouTube videos. So here we go. Cuban YouTuber Dina Fernandez, known as Dina Star, says she was being taken away by Cuban state security forces in Havana during a live interview on Tuesday. Fernandez was being interviewed along with singer Yotuel, I believe that's how you say Yotuel, by Spanish broadcaster Canal 4 about the unprecedented anti-government protest in which thousands of people took to the streets across the communist-run island on Sunday. During the conversation, Fernandez interrupted the interview, saying, "The state security forces are here. I have to go." Then handed off her computer to a friend who took it to another room. Keeping the camera and microphone on, male voices can be heard in the background, though it is unclear what they are saying. Moments after, the YouTuber returns and tells the interviewer she's being asked to come with who she said were police officers, adding that the Cuban government is now responsible for her whereabouts. No security forces are seen from the video, and Fernandez does not appear to be forcibly taken away. "I hold the government responsible for anything that could happen to me. I have to go." Fernandez then is asked if she's being detained. She responds, "I don't know. They told me to come along with them." CNN has contacted the Cuban authorities regarding Fernandez with no response so far. Anti-government activists in the country say that more than 100 people have been arrested or are missing on the island following widespread protests on Sunday. The Movimiento San Isidro, which advocates for greater artistic expression in Cuba, published a list of activists that are said to be believed to have been detained by authorities. Among the detainees are journalist Camila Acosta, according to Spain's Foreign Minister Jose Manuel Alvarez, who called for her release, Acosta writes for the ABC newspaper in Madrid, the Spanish capital. One person died during clashes with police on Monday, Cuba's Ministry of Interior said Tuesday, according to the state-run radio LIABLE. The Interior Ministry said the man who died and other protesters had attacked officials. On Sunday, CNN journalists witnessed multiple people being forcibly arrested and thrown into the back of vans at protests in Havana. Videos of the protest showed demonstrators turning over a police car and throwing rocks at officers. The Cuban government has not said how many people were arrested or injured in the disturbances. These are the largest protests on the island in decades, triggered by anger at lack of food and medicine as the country undergoes a grave economic crisis aggravated by the COVID-19 pandemic and U.S. sanctions. So again, this is from CNN.com, and I'll try to leave this in the description so you guys can check it out for yourselves. And again, they do mention the sanctions here. They do actually mention, they mentioned COVID-19 pandemic and the U.S. sanctions, the embargo that's going on. And that makes it a lot harder for the people of Cuba to get what they need, such as food and medicine. And the people are justifiably pissed off about this. And now there's two sides. There's one side saying, look, this is all because of the U.S. and the embargo and the sanctions against the country. And the other side is saying, no, the people are not saying they want to end to the embargo. They're saying they want to end to the dictatorship in their country. So this is what's going on right now with this story right here. If you guys have any more information, please do let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Do me a favor, like this video for the YouTube gods, share it, and subscribe if you haven't before, because most of you guys are not subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe to me so I can keep bringing you stories like this. And the situation right here, again, is unfolding. There's two sides to this. I was always under the impression that most of the Cubans did not like the government there, but there is counter protests going on for in favor of the government of Cuba. And again, this has been an ugly, dirty, messy situation for years now. And you know, this is what's going on. So a lot of people are coming out in support of Cuba, saying SOS Cuba, hashtag SOS Cuba, you know, free Cuba. And I'll just say this, I absolutely stand with the people of Cuba, regardless of the you know, differentiating views or the different views in this. I stand with the people of Cuba to peacefully and efficiently resolve their issues internally. I'm not for airstrikes on Cuba like some maniacs are actually advocating for, and I'm not for troops in Cuba, American troops in Cuba. I'm not for any kind of regime change, none of that nonsense. None of that nonsense. We need to keep our little grubby American hands out of their country and out of their business. And with all that being said, folks, love, peace, and light. Let me know your thoughts on this subject. Find my information in the description if you guys want to check it out. Follow me on Twitter, LB_THAREALIST. That's LB_THAREALIST. And social media, LBThaRealist. Facebook, LBThaRealist. Till next time, folks, remember, do something kind for somebody else. And in turn, the universe will thank you and bless you back. So, I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm out.